The next generation Everest from Ford has featured on the channel a number of times, but there is a first here, because this is the first time they've had a Wildtrak version in the Everest and not just in the Ranger. So there's a first for you. But this front end is bold, it's big, and particularly in this color that Ford call Lux yellow, I would call gold. But anyway, not important. It is a signature color for Ford in the Rangers and Wildtraks, and it certainly stands out. But look at this bold front end over here with, of course, the silver color down at the bottom for the lower end and for the skid plate, etc. With, of course, you can't ever ignore what Ford termed the C-clamp headlight with daytime running light. These are features of the new next gen Ranger and Everest, and they stand out. This is a large vehicle. It is big in every sense of the word. Wildtrak gives you nice 20-inch alloy wheels over here. You can see the two-tone, the bitone as they like to call them. And notice the clearance on the wheel arch over there for articulation if you're going to go off-roading in this. It is, of course, off-road capable. That's got something to do with, that's why they use the Wildtrak name with it again. So you know it's off-road capable. I still wonder how many people will ever do it. But, this is the critical point of the Wildtrak. It's got that silky 3-liter turbo diesel V6. Yes, V6 turbo diesel, and it is so smooth you will not believe it's a diesel. 184 kilowatts, 600 newton meters of torque, 10-speed automatic transmission, and you can choose between 2-wheel and 4-wheel drive. That's all the options you want. You know them all. Let's just check out the accommodation quickly. And while you're looking, and as I'm about to climb in, and I use the word climb in, you'll see the mustardy yellow contrasting stitching on the seats, on the door panels, etc. Now, Ford do give you a very useful handle over there to get up and in. Driver's seat set for me as you would expect. Let's see a couple of features. Plenty of headroom and legroom for me in this row. Nice, a 230 volt in the middle row, and 2 USBs and a fan speed control. All of these for your rear seat passengers, or I'm saying middle row passengers, because of course this is a 7-seater. Don't ever forget that. Running board over here for you as well for the climbing in and out, and of course you do that, and there you can push the seat right out of the way for access to the rearmost seats. I'm not going to do the rearmost seat thing for you today. You've seen it enough times before with the Everest range. Let's come around to the back of the vehicle. And of course you've got these angled vertical tail lights over here. You've got all the features you know and expect. And yes, the tailgate is powered for you. Now you can see I've got the rearmost seats folded flat. There is a tow bar, which I'm going to make a different use of today. I'm going to use it for a step for the Allen boot test. In 5-seater format. Not as much height as I would like. As you can see, I've kind of got to bend slightly. Yeah, but this is a 2 to 3 Allen boot. Absolutely in 5-seater format. Don't think you can ask for more. No complaints. And what is useful is, yep, and that's how you get the rearmost seats up. Not a heck of a lot of boot space once you've done it, but again, do you expect any different? And the answer is no. All vehicles in this category have the same. If you're going to travel with 7 people on board long distance, that's why you got a tow hitch. Use a trailer. Simple as that. Press the button, closes the rear, and you can see, tells you Wildtrak, it tells you 4-wheel drive. What more do you want to know?
My name is Michael Pashut and I'm the proud owner of Change Cars and the host of the TV show All Things Motoring. I'm even prouder to work with Alan Rosenmeyer of Motor Matters, your #1 review specialist for all things new. If you are looking for a new or used car, if you're looking for advice, visit changecars.co.za and I promise you, you will get the best advice from the best dealers in South Africa.
Cruising around in Wildtrak, you know the vehicle, you've seen the vehicle on Motor Matters before, so I'm not going to say too much about the Everest itself. It's big, it's got acres of space, yet I've got to tell you, it doesn't feel big and cumbersome to drive. It really is such a pleasure to drive most of the time. It's this V6 diesel that, of course, is the absolute thing about this particular Wildtrak model. 184 kilowatts, 600 Newton meters of torque. It really is exceptional. The downside, and I've got to tell you, there is a downside, I'm sorry to say, is the fuel consumption. So it's up to you. If you're going to be towing a vehicle, I can see a massive logic in having this engine. If you're going to be towing anything, or if you just really are that guy that likes extra power, then I can see again the logic. Otherwise, I'm going to stick my neck out and say the 2-litre twin turbo just is so good, you wonder. Of course, there is a range now, and you've got to be very careful which model you choose in the range. That you do get, if you're off-road, you get the 4x4, that you get the low range option as well. You get things like that. You need to know that those are available if you're ever going to use them. Otherwise, quite honestly, between the Wildtrak, I'd say if you went down to the 2-litre engine, you'd probably be looking at the Sport, which gives you most of what this one gives you. The lovely thing from Ford is the fact that they give you the choices, and they give you so many choices in the range. I think it is quite fantastic, and it's always up to you, but it's nice to have choices. Not everybody gives you such an array of choices of models when you've got such a great platform to start with. Getting in behind the wheel, let's look at the figures. So let me tell you that we've done 489 kilometers on this test, and we're showing 10.9 liters per 100. Now I've got to say, much as I love this 3-litre engine, that first does bug me. That's overall freeway. We haven't done a road trip as you would expect from us. I'm sorry, sometimes we just don't get to them. But it certainly gives you an idea of what I think average owners will do with this vehicle, if not, as I said, what you could do if you take it on holiday. You hopefully would do a bit better. You look down over here, of course, on your steering column, you've got all your controls for your adaptive cruise control. You've got all the safety features. Again, it's got it all. I can't tell you every time. You know it's got them all. You know all the features it's got. It's also got the auto headlights, the high beams, which I really do like. And it's got very neat stitching everywhere. So it looks good. It looks impressive. Of course, one of the features of the next gen range and Everest has to be this gigantic screen. It is unbelievable. It links seamlessly, wirelessly to Android Auto, and you've got the inductive charging pad down below there as well with 2 more USBs. So you've got all those features. But again, this thing has got absolutely everything on the screen that you could ever want. It is unbelievable. I've got to use that word. Your aircon, some of the controls are here below, and they are the old-fashioned type, and some of them are on the screen. So it's a little bit between the two, but it works easily. You've got no issues. This, of course, is quite a game changer. Your 10-speed automatic transmission. I've spoken about it so many times before. It is smooth, it is seamless, it is comfortable, it is everything you want. I just don't know what more to say about it. Yes, it does hunt between gears depending on what you're doing and where you're driving, but you know what, you don't feel it. I don't find that an issue. I know a lot of people do comment on it, but ignore. You've got your electronic parking brake, works beautifully. Then here, of course, is one of the crucial. You've got 2 high, 4 low, and 4 automatic, which In other words, leave it to the vehicle to decide and do its own thing. I have had it in 2 high this entire test. I haven't touched it. Then over here, you've got your different terrains, as in rocky, sand, mud, etc., etc. Again, it just sets everything up for the conditions you're going to find yourself in, and obviously it's for you to use and use intelligently. They've built it in for you to make life easy and practical. Got a nice substantial armrest over here, as you would expect, and a 12-volt inside there even as well. Lots of Wildtrak logos all over the place on the seats, etc., and a panoramic roof as well, if that's what you want. Opens at the touch of a button. You know what it is. I don't have to tell you this. Now, where does this fit into the range? You've got in the Everest range now, you've got the XLT and the Sport powered by the 2-litre bi-turbo engine, and now you've got the Wildtrak and the Platinum powered by the 3-litre V6. I've spoken enough about that. You understand about that now. 184 kilowatts, 600 newton meters of torque. It's brilliant. It really is. It's fantastic numbers, and it is smooth as you can imagine. So why would you take this instead of the Platinum? Well, that's a good question. It's about 100,000 Rand cheaper than a Platinum. I think between 80 and 100, let me say that. So it's just over R1 million for this one. You could also go to the Sport version, which I would say is the closest to this one, and save a little bit of money and save lots of fuel. Well, it's what you want. If you're going to tow, I would say you go with this one, without a doubt. You just want that extra capacity, that extra capability, that extra everything that would give you. If you're not, well, your choice, I suppose, depends on the weight of that right foot of yours. I don't know what Leadfoot would do with this thing, that's for sure. I think that could be scary, quite honestly. But there is a very, very good reason why the Ranger won SA Car of the Year 2023 and the Everest came second overall in the entire contest. A very good reason.